Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and see exactly how some clever keyboard shortcuts can turn sluggish, annoying spreadsheet tasks into lightning-fast workflows. We're looking at the top 20 Excel shortcuts used by financial analysts and data pros, and we're going to see how they actually command their software instead of constantly fighting with it. We are going on a bit of a zero-to-hero journey today across 6 key areas. We've got the mousetrap, the daily essentials, navigating massive data, formatting and formulas, the power moves, and finally, we'll wrap up with the 5 shortcut challenge.
All right, let's kick things off with part 1, the mousetrap.
So, picture this. You've just been handed a massive new report to process, and you're staring down 5,000 rows of raw data. 5,000! If you're relying solely on a mouse to scroll, select, and edit all of that, it feels incredibly overwhelming, right? You're dragging your cursor down endless columns, just watching precious minutes tick by on purely mechanical movements.
And honestly, this perfectly illustrates a very real divide in the workplace. Imagine 2 employees handed that exact same 5,000-row report. The first one keeps reaching for the mouse every few seconds, clicking menus, highlighting cells, and they ultimately take twice as long. But the second employee, they barely touch the mouse at all and finish the whole thing in half the time. The secret here isn't years of experience, and it's certainly not about working harder. It is entirely about efficiency.
Moving right along to part 2, the daily essentials.
Let's look at this first tier of shortcuts. These are your foundational safety nets. You've got your absolute lifesavers, Ctrl C and Ctrl V for instantly copying and pasting, and Ctrl X to cut and move data seamlessly. But look at those bottom 2 rows. Ctrl Z and Ctrl Y are basically your rewind and fast-forward buttons. And this is crucial. Developing the muscle memory to just tap Ctrl S every few minutes. That is going to protect you from the absolute nightmare of losing hours of work to a sudden laptop crash.
To round out our daily essentials, we've got 2 keys that give you immediate control over your data, completely eliminating that tedious dragging. Just hit Ctrl A to instantly select an entire table, and hit it again if you want to grab the whole worksheet. And when you need to actually edit a cell, stop double-clicking. Seriously. Professionals just press F2. It jumps your cursor straight inside the cell for fast, accurate editing.
Okay, part 3. Navigating massive data.
So once you've got the basics down, you have to learn how to surf these massive data sets effortlessly. Imagine your manager rushes over with a super urgent question, looking for invoice 45872. If you're using a scroll wheel to visually scan thousands of rows to find that one specific invoice, well, that's a workplace nightmare. Thankfully, Ctrl F solves that needle in a haystack problem instantly. You just type the number, and Excel leaps right to it. But take a look at Ctrl H. This is where the real magic happens. Let's say you have a sheet where every single pending tag needs to be updated to completed. Ctrl H lets you replace thousands of values in literally seconds. Because let's be honest, when you're dealing with reports that balloon to 20,000 rows, your scroll wheel officially becomes your worst enemy. It's slow, it's frustrating, and it practically guarantees eye strain.
So here is how we ditch the scroll wheel forever. By holding Control and tapping your down arrow, you warp straight to the last row of data. Want to highlight all of it? Just combine Control and Shift with your arrow keys, and you select the entire data range in that direction. And the ultimate superpower here is Ctrl Shift End. From your very first cell, hitting this instantly selects every single used cell right down to the bottom corner, priming it perfectly for something like a pivot table.
Let's jump into part 4, formatting and formulas.
This is the magic tier, where complex math happens without you having to type a single function. If you need to total up monthly sales, just click below your numbers and hit Alt plus equals. Excel automatically drops in the sum formula and guesses the range for you. 0 typing required. And once you have that formula, don't copy and paste it. Just select the cells below and hit Ctrl D to drag that math downward instantly. Or if you're working on a horizontal timeline, Ctrl R fills the formula seamlessly to the right.
You'll also want to streamline how all that data actually looks and behaves. By pressing Ctrl+1, you completely bypass all those clunky ribbon menus and open up the ultimate format cells window. It gives you instant access to fonts, borders, currency, the whole shebang. And to organize things, Ctrl Shift L gets your sorting filters up and running immediately. Hit it again, and they vanish.
All right, we've made it to the big leagues. Part 5, the power moves.
These are the top-tier superpowers used by financial analysts to truly automate their workflows.
Listen, if you aren't using Ctrl T, you are frankly missing out on one of the software's absolute best hidden features. Hitting Ctrl T instantly transforms a boring raw range of data into an official Excel table. Suddenly you've got automatic color formatting, expandable rows, and dynamic formulas that practically do the organizing for you.
Check out how this next one builds, because the F4 key is a massive time saver. When you're writing a formula and you need to lock a cell reference, tapping F4 cycles through those dollar signs automatically. It locks the row and column, then just the row, then just the column. It totally saves you from hunting for that dollar sign key. And as a really cool bonus, F4 also repeats your last action. So if you color a cell yellow, just click another cell, hit F4, and boom, it repeats the formatting instantly.
And here is a phenomenal bonus trick for auditing that was highlighted in our source material. Pressing Ctrl and the grave accent key, that little backtick usually sitting above your tab key. It instantly toggles your entire spreadsheet view. It switches from showing the final calculated numbers to literally peeling back the curtain and revealing all the hidden formulas running in the background. It is incredibly useful to make sure nobody broke your complex calculations.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 6, the 5 Shortcut Challenge.
We've covered a ton of ground today, right? But the absolute best way to upgrade your workflow without getting totally overwhelmed is actually to start small. As the source brilliantly advises, don't try to memorize all 20 of these right now. Pick just 5. Pick the 5 that address your biggest daily headaches and force yourself to use them every single day for 1 week to build that muscle memory. So take a quick moment to think about your daily bottlenecks. Select your 5 weapons of choice, commit to them, and get ready to finally leave that mouse behind. Honestly, once you start slicing through your workload at keyboard speed, it makes you wonder just how much of our workday is lost to simple inefficiencies. So, out of the 20 we explored today, which 5 shortcuts are you going to use to reclaim your time tomorrow?